Hello everyone, it is I, Josh, here to bring you a brand new video, and today I'm going to be talking about, well, I got two reviews. One of them I actually, oh my gosh, why? This thing is annoying. It pops up when it says it's got no audio, and yet I have audio. Stupid thing. Okay, so the first film I'm going to be talking about, and the other film that I'm going to be talking about, I've been putting off for quite some time, but I'm going to be talking about two films at least in this video, and then I'm going to be talking about random stuff again. So here we go. This one's called The Legend of Halloween Jack. I know you can't really see it very well, but it is it's a decent horror film. It's not really gory, which is surprising. I figured it'd be more gory because it's not rated, but really it's not that bad. So anyways, this town decides they believe that Jack is actually a serial killer. So what do? They kill him. And a year later, he comes back as a scarecrow, and he murders everyone involved. And yeah, it's pretty decent. And another film that I haven't really talked about, this is The Spawn, 1997. I have it on Blu-ray, and I have to say they did not do a good job transferring the film or even remastering it. The CGI does not hold up well. Movies that do hold up well, better than The Spawn, are Jurassic Park and Nightmare Before Christmas. Those CGI effects and stop motion are better than that film. It's like the whole point of reissuing it on Blu-ray is to go back and digitally clean every single frame and making it more astounding, like what it's supposed to look like. Because back in '97, I watched the VHS version, then I watched the DVD version, and both those films held up very well back in '97. They were kind of groundbreaking for 1997. So anyways, I like to show off, I'm going to show off that was one movie that I picked up. So I had to get this film. I love this film. This was a film that I used to watch when I was a kid, and it still holds up today. The Sandlot, and it's on Blu-ray, so that's really cool. And I never had the DVD version, and I never had the VHS version. I remember taping off the TV years ago, and that was a long time ago. And I have to say, when I was a kid, I used to be scared of the Beast. I know it sounds stupid to be scared of the Beast in the film, because again, the way they present it, like it's a horror film in a way, so it's kind of like, it's a kid's film with a little scary element. Like, it may scare little kids to a certain extent, but it's still good. And I want to talk about this one, okay? I love the Jurassic Park films, so I have the originals, all three films, on DVD. And some people were talking about the transfers, and I tend to agree that some of them don't look as well as they should. It's like, after you reissue the film so many times, what happens? They start slacking off, and when they slack off, and it seems like it's a half-assed job that they did. Then you got, of course, I did pick this up last month when it came out, and I couldn't wait to get my hands on it because I have all the films. Jurassic World: The Fallen Kingdom. I love this movie. But, as always, I like this more as the cover. It's really just, it stands out. I mean, it's the red and black. It's a classic. Now, other ones, if you get the single DVD or Blu-ray version, they actually go with the Photoshop of the actors and key moments and scenes. I don't understand why they did that. It's not, I wouldn't say it's as appealing, but again, I love these movies. There's nothing wrong with them. And, like I said, when they reissue films, they tend to slack off on it. Like, somebody doesn't care enough to actually present it very well. And, I totally agree with certain people out there that we want to preserve these films as long as we possibly can to bring them out as they are originally intended to be. Now, I never actually did get to see the reissue, well, not the reissue, but when they released Jurassic Park in 3D, 1993 film. I don't know how or if it worked all that great, because to me, there was only a few moments that would have made sense in 3D, but other than the fact that it wasn't shot in 3D and now it was turned into a 3D movie, I don't know how well that worked. I was going to ask anyone who saw that if it was really eye-popping or if it was just blah, because it's like I said, My Bloody Valentine in 3D, when me and my nephew saw that in theaters, it was shot completely in 3D versus you shot the film and then you put it in 3D. Doesn't work very well. I've noticed it over the years how if it's not in 3D, never was intended to be in 3D, why would you present it in 3D? So yeah, I have 2 film reviews. I mean, The Spawn is still a good movie. It's still a great film. It's just the CGI does not hold up. It's just like the original Mighty Morphin Power Rangers, the movie. A lot of people will be probably thinking I'm talking about the remake, which came out 2 years ago, and that was actually pretty decent. I love that film. And I love the original. But the original, if you watch it today, it is not. The CG is crap. You can tell it's CGI. It's so horrible. It's like before where certain studios, like low budget ones, would make CGI monsters. And I'm like, whatever happened to just keeping it practical? Because practical effects in low budget horror films or independent films is the best. Unfortunately, some studios have created movies that were so blurry you couldn't even tell what it was. It's like, ew, nasty. And like I said, if you're going to remaster a film, make sure you remaster it so it looks decent. Give it a good transfer, because it seems like they slack off on all things. And of course, I will be back at midnight to do a live stream. And this time I'm going to do it at midnight. Because again, I have all the time right now to work on videos and make content until I actually get a job. Because once I get a job, I may be making less content, or I might be just doing these videos right here and doing less live streams. Because if I'm working, I'm going to be really tired and I'm not going to have time to do anything really. But like I said, there's a good way to bring these movies out and preserve them the way they should have been. And then there's the wrong way of doing things when you just, that's good enough. People won't care. They're going to buy them up. Like Jaws. Jaws was beautifully transferred, digitally remastered. It is completely stunning. You don't see any, of course, it was a practical effect. Practical effects. Sorry. And no CGI at the time, but it actually cleaned up some of it. So it made it look more menacing, I guess. I can't remember. I didn't actually watch the entire movie because I was really interested in the Shark is Still Working documentary, which for some reason, not all of them have it. And the thing that bothered me when I watched it on Blu-ray, especially the transfer, it was like this little box. It was like a box, and I'm like, okay, why didn't they put it in widescreen? Don't know why, but I mean, the film itself was stunning. I watched a little bit of it, and I'm like, yes, it looks great. They did a good job. And like Halloween, for instance, Dean Cudney, who was the director was the director of photography for that film, was there and painstakingly supervised the transfer to make sure that everything he shot was perfect. The color was correct. Everything, everything that you'd want in a film. And it got rid of the grain to a certain extent. Unless you pause it, then you kind of see the grain. But anyways, digital transfers are only as good as the companies who bring it out. And unfortunately, some of the bigger companies are just slacking off on it. If you're going to reissue a copy of something on Blu-ray, for the love of God, make sure it's correct. Also, I just want to point out that Sandlot, especially this right here, it looks like a VHS tape. And yeah, it has on the back does not contain a VHS cassette tape. You have to put it on there. Just like I have Deadpool on the box, but of course it says on the back, contains the original, box art, not with Deadpool. And Deadpool says, I wish I was in this movie. And it was great. They even have it for Alien, where he's actually upside down as the alien egg. They have the Predator, where he's holding a super soaker, and he's got the Predator's sights on him or whatever. Pretty cool. Pretty interesting. Pretty awesome. But again, if you haven't seen The Legend of Halloween Jack, I recommend it. Check it out. You can always rent it first, because you never know. You might not like it. I don't think I saw it at the video store when I went and rented. So, of course, I didn't really go to the video store after a while. So, but then again, I cannot wait for October 19th, which is just 12 days away, the new Halloween film. I'm going to check it out. I'm going to love it. And then I will do I'll just wait and let other people review it. I'm not going to review it early. But if I do a review, of course, I'm not going to spoil the movie because, again, that's not me. It's like there's no point in spoiling it. I might give you a little bit of, everyone knows the synopsis. It's 40 years later. Michael Myers has been captive for 40 years. Of course, it's a retroscope of the series, ignoring all the other films, except you will see the Shamrock Mask from Halloween 3. You will see Michael Myers going into that house, from Halloween 2, where he walks in the house, grabs a knife, and leaves blood. He doesn't kill the lady, but he's going to be killing this lady with a hammer. It's apparently obvious. And, of course, the thing about Halloween 2, 1981, was that scene where that girl was on the phone, and she was talking to her friend, and they were talking about the murders that just happened. She's like, that's not very far away. And then she gets killed by Michael Myers. And the reason why they added that scene was because I guess there wasn't very much of a body count. And that was just a scene that they wanted to do. Like, Michael Myers just kills her for no reason. She has no involvement. She's not related. And she didn't see him. So it's kind of like, I don't really understand it myself. It's like they just added that scene for whatever reason. But it's still a good movie. I love all the Halloween films. I know Halloween 3 is the most hated among certain people. I know my nephew doesn't like it. He's like, don't even call it Halloween 3. Of course, I don't really call it Halloween 3. If it was just called Season of the Witch, it would have worked. But, of course, that's just me and a lot of other people. Like, 3 is just a slap in the face, But again, sorry I made this video longer than usual, but I'd like to just point out that I love Halloween, so I know everyone I know is probably going to go see it, except for certain people who may not like Halloween or don't like scary movies in general, so they're not going to check it out. But I love you guys. I will talk to y'all later, and I'll see you later at midnight. Thanks for supporting my channel. I love you guys so very much.